Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the scripting components, or whatever I'm going to call this after this recording. This episode is brought to you by Warprince2313, who recently requested me to make him a simple quest system that could be used in his project. So I took advantage of this request, and while I am making the system for him, I'm going to record the process so anyone who wants to make their own system can go ahead and do so. Alright, so I've already got my base plate and stuff loaded out. It's not really important since all we're doing is making a system here. But he also provided me with a set of GUIs, graphical user interfaces, which I intend to use because that is what he wants. The positioning on this is a little funky. What size did he make these things? Anyway, I will be using these GUIs, but the GUIs are not the important ones right now. We are going to first start off by setting up the basic things we'll need. First off, nowadays you put nothing in workspace and nothing in lighting. Lighting is only used for its features here in the lighting and whatnot, and for putting skyboxes in there. Workspace, that's where all your physical objects go. You don't put scripts or anything like that into workspace anymore. First, we are going to insert a folder into replicated storage. We're going to call this folder, well, we'll call it Quest Libraries. So our quest system has its own little libraries folder. We're going to then put in a module script. Now, an important part of quests is the dialogue that the player will read when they talk to a quest giver. Because we're going to need to store this some way, we are going to go into this module script and we're going to create a table. Now, local module, this is a table right here. These two brackets indicate a group of data. This one's empty, but we can add stuff to it in this script. This will return it, so whenever we require this script, it'll return whatever's in module. So, to put something into module, we should put module dot, since this will be for dialogue, we'll call it dialogue. Now we're going to need to make this a table, and we'll have lots of tables inside this one for dialogue. Alright, so to start off with our first quest dialogue, we're going to need to make this a library type table, where you can put something in like quest 01, and anytime you go module.dialog.quest01, it will return this table. You could also do it as a string or as a number, and it's all the same difference. But because we want to make dialogue, we'll put it like this. Alright, now, we are going to need to put this into sequential order. And that means that each part of the dialogue will need its own key, which is this. This is called a key, and its own value, which is everything after the equal point. So the first dialogue we're going to get out of our NPC, we'll just do something simple, like, "Hello, adventurer, can you help me out?" For our player response, which I'm pretty sure we could do yeah, we'll do it this way. So we'll do response, we'll just do res1. Or we'll make it that even shorter. And then we'll make another part. You know, actually, we could probably do this another way. But we'll do it this way just to keep it simple for now. since we could... Alright, so we're going to need to like define a couple types. No, this is just dialogue. So keep in mind what the content of each quest is. So I need you to kill 5 rocks, because I'm just going to make simple enemies that look like rocks. And then you could do... Sure. I'll get it done. And then we will have an NPC 3. Thanks. Come back when you're done for a reward. Oh, you always have to put a comma after these. Response 3. Okay. Now we're going to need one that'll allow you to cancel, so we'll do exit equals. Alright, that should do. So, this is an extremely basic system. I mean, we could go into way more detail with this thing, but for now, this is what we'll go with. Now that we've got our quest 1 dialogue done, another thing we're going to have to set up are the actual quests themselves. The way we are going to do this is another module script in our quest libraries. This one we are going to call quests, because this will contain the actual information on the quests. So doing it in the same way, we will do module.quests equals a new table, and then we will define quest 01. Now the name of the quest is, we'll just call this Rock Slayer, like that. No, I screwed up. We want the ID here to be name, and then it will equal Rock Slayer. So this will define the name of our quest. The type of quest, since we'll define some types, is slay. Let's just make ourselves a note up here. We'll create a comment by... Actually, you can just do this like 2 brackets and... apparently not. You put 2 dashes and then 2 brackets and hit enter. Oh, and if your interface doesn't look like mine, don't worry about it. It's just that I've changed the colors on my scripting editor. Anyway, we will give ourselves some notes. Types, we'll have slay. The slay type will be kill monsters. Fetch, if it's a fetch quest, it will be acquire items. And for right now, this is really the only 2 we need. Okay, so the next part of our quest will be what? Or goal. This will be to define what exactly we need to do. What goal are we trying to acquire, or what goal are we trying to slay? So since I'm just going to call them rock, we'll just say that the goal is rock. We'll have a number. How can we shorten this? Something like that, I guess. The number we'll want them to do is 5, because I'm pretty sure we said 5 in our dialogue. Yes, we said 5 in our dialogue, so we'll have them kill or slay 5 rocks. And the rewards, that should do. The reward shall be... you could honestly establish this for either EXP or gold, but I think the simplest way is to just hard code it for gold. They could get the XP from the rocks or something. Or on the other hand, we could do XP EXPG, which will stand for EXP gain. They'll gain 10 experience points, and GLDG, which stands for gold gain, we can make that 50 or 20, 25. Alright, so this will be what defines our quest. If you want to make more quests, whoops, you can just select it all, copy, comma, paste. And that will allow you to put in more and more quests, as many as you want. The advantage to doing it this way is whenever you want to change the specifics of a quest, it actually, you don't have to go through every single NPC to find and change the quest. You could just pop into, oh, here's the quests file, let's go in here, and we could change number or whatever to 10, so they have to select 10 rocks, whatever the case may be. And for the dialogues, the same way goes. So now that we have that set up, we are going to need to have an NPC to talk to. So what I'm going to do is just grab a figure from my models. It's not really important what it looks like in this tutorial, otherwise I'd make him look cooler, much cooler. But we will have our friend Billy here. The spawns, I set the spawns like somewhere, yeah, they're somewhere over there, so. Now, it's not really important to add this, but we could actually track the status of a quest some way. So, we'll do that in episode 2. For now, we just want to get the basic system set up. Now, we're also going to need an enemy that we can kill. So, let me find here a... Darn it. I'm pretty sure my... Yeah, here's my RPG just stuff. We'll just get the orc. This is a really old piece of technology. If you want it, you can go into my models, find it, but I do not mess with these anymore. We will only want follow, respawn, and robot. Yes. There's no other use for the stuff in here. You don't even need the scripts in his arms. Poor guy, I haven't used you in forever and I'm already getting rid of all your stuff. So to make him a rock, we will color all his parts. And we will give him the slate texture. You don't have to go through and do this, I'm just, that's how I roll. Now that's weird. I hope this is actually what makes it work. I hope it's not broken, because that's going to be a pain. But we'll call it a rock, and that should be really all we need as far as that goes, yes. You know what, I need to test and see if that thing actually works. I doubt it does, really. Oh, I'm naked. How did that happen? Oh well. Hello. I guess you're not working. Whoops. Need properties. Output. And technically you're working. Oh, you got really low follow distance. That's what it is. Alright, so allow me to increase his follow distance real quick. We'll make it 10. We will set him over here, one there, one there. We'll put 5 of these things down. Actually, we don't want to put them down yet. There's something I need to add. Alright, so since we're going to have to slay enemies, a way we could do this is we will insert a folder. We could call this configurations or something. We will insert an object, and it will be a string value. And this string value will tell us which quest this is for. So we'll just name the value quest, and we shall put in the value quest 01. That way when this monster dies, we'll add a script to it that when it dies, it'll update the status of your quest. So we have that guy down. Now this guy needs to be able to give you the quest. So what we are going to do, we're going to put a script into him. We don't even need to put it into any of the parts. But we will put a script into this kid. And we are going to say local, well, we're going to have to like paste this into all our NPCs. So what I'm going to do is do replicated storage equals game get service. What the get service command does is it allows you to get Roblox services. It returns the service, and if it doesn't exist in your game, it'll create it. It's just a way of making sure you get what you want. So this little command here will return replicated storage. We need to get the quest libraries, which is replicated storage, and we need to find it in there. So find first child, quest libraries. Now for the libraries, we are going to need to do dialogues equals quest libraries. No, we need to require. For module scripts, it's a function called require, and it'll show up in whatever color yours is. It'll be bolded. We'll need to require quest libraries find first child dialogues. We can copy and paste this so you can get quests. And now we have access to both of these tables that we created. So now we are going to have to put in configurations. We shall call this quest NPC. You could give it a better name. This is just something I'm coming up with offhand. Now we are going to put a folder into this NPC, not into the script. That way they can be separate. Or we could put into the script. It's not a problem. And we could call this folder configurations. This folder, it's going to contain the same type of string value that we put in our monster. It'll be quest, and then we shall do quest 01. Remember to do all caps. The variables are very sensitive on stuff like that. So we've got quest 01, and there shouldn't actually be anything else we need. We can do an enabled just in case you want to disable a script at some point. Like, not allow it to give a quest. Now, when we touch his torso, so we're going to have to go script.parent. What this is doing here is it takes this saying script and a script, just like script, will return this object. Doing script.parent will return the object here. Since its parent is Billy, it will return this model for us. So what we can actually do is go to torso. That is a part of in Billy, because script.parent refers to Billy. Then we can go .torso, which will give us his torso. .touched. .touched is a Roblox event that says or activates when an object touches that object. So when two parts collide, they touched. Now we want to connect, so whenever this event happens, we will do this function. Alright, so to begin with, before we can actually do anything involving GUIs, what we're going to need to do is put that GUI, or if in your guys' case you'll need to make one, we're going to want to put a new folder into replicated storage, and we'll make it GUIs. That way it just holds whatever GUIs we make. But first I want to edit this a little bit, so alright, so after editing that, I feel a lot better about it now. This is what I'm going to use as my GUI for this project. We're just going to call it Quest Dialog. That'll make things much more convenient. So now that we have this, really don't like how he made that, but oh well. Now that we have this, we don't actually need Quest Finish. I don't need that folder anymore. I don't need that either. Okay. Now that we have this actually here, we need to go back to our Quest NPC script, and we're going to have to create this thing. So we can actually define the GUI here, so we're going to have to find it. We'll go local Quest GUI equals replicated storage, find first child, Quest dialog true. What this true does is it makes the recursive parameter true. What recursive does is it'll go into replicated storage, and it'll when it's not set to true, it'll just look, and it'll only see these folders, so it won't return quest dialog. What true allows it to do is go into each of these folders and continue looking for it. So now that we have the Quest GUI, another thing we're going to need is the configurations actually inside this script. So local, let's just give it their names. Local Quest. Yeah, we'll just call it local quest equals script dot configurations dot quest dot value. Then we can get local enabled equals script dot configurations dot enabled. Yeah, dot quest enabled. We won't get the value on this one because we're gonna have to change it here and there. Actually, no, we don't. We'll just give it value. It'll go into the script.configurations, grab this, and then return the value, but it doesn't let us change it. Alright, so now that we've all got this down, we're going to need, this will return the part that hit the torso. So first we're going to need to see if it was actually a player who touched this part, that touched his torso. So if part.parent, if you touched it with like your arm, then the parent of your arm is going to be your character model. And if it's your character model, then your humanoid will definitely be there. So we're going to search for your humanoid. We don't need to do a recursive check, we just need to look on the surface. Does not equal nil, that way if it does find your humanoid, then it'll continue on. And if it doesn't, then it'll end. Alright, so if it is a person or a player who's touched it, we're going to need to get the local player. which means we'll need to go local player equals game.players. Whoops, missed that. Game.players, find first child, and then we'll need part.parent.name. This will get the name of your character model, which is always your player name. So once we have the player, we can go local player GUI equals player, find first child player GUI. The player GUI object here is what holds the GUIs you see on your screen. Next, we're going to need a clone of the Quest GUI. So we get local UI equals Quest GUI clone. This will create a copy of it, and since we don't have anything to find yet, that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to want to do local main equals GUI, so we're referencing our copy of this. We're going to want to go to hold.frame. We're inside here and we can see all this. So we go main.title.name.text, which main, we're referencing this frame here. We're going to go down to title and then to name, and we'll edit the text property. We should go the space, that way it looks formatted or proper or whatever. And we will get the script.parent.name. So it'll return us Billy. Now at the end we're going to need to make the GUI.parent equals player GUI. That's just a matter of testing. So now that we've got that much set up, we're going to see if it actually will do what we ask it to. So we'll change this name, that way we'll know. And we will go to Tools, Test, Play Solo. Let us see here. Now we need to go touch Billy and see if it'll work. But first, output window, that way we can see if it throws an error. Yes, it did throw an error. Attempt to index field name, a string value, line 25. So let's see what this error was. Okay, so line 25, unfortunately, I don't think it found name. So what we're going to do is local GUI name equals main find first child name true. That way we'll find it that way. Now it shouldn't throw the same error, and if it does, then we've got other issues apparently. So we go back and test. Scripting, when you're scripting systems and whatnot, going to Play Solo and test, that's what you're going to have to do a lot of the time. No doubt about it. A lot of it is just going through and testing these things constantly. Looks like it didn't change the name, but it did give us our GUI here, so that's a step in the right direction at least. The question is, why didn't it find our name here? Oh, because I didn't set GUI name.text. We got the object, but we needed its text to edit its text value. So if this works, that's where I'm going to cut this video off for now. But next episode, we are going to actually make it give us the quest, and then have a GUI showing up the status of our quest. And episode 3 will probably be putting add-ons to the quest system after we get, yes, there we go, after we get the rock set up for the quest. And I think that about does it for this. I will add things into the after part in post-editing, little notes here and there, that way you can read things on the wiki and whatnot pertaining to what we did here. and I do hope you understand it. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comments, and I will be there to answer all of them. Alright, I guess that ends this episode. Battle on.